And Tom, or Tom, I'll throw to you first, see if your computer is going to let you talk to us tonight. The Liverpool game, you were particularly infuriated about this after the game on Twitter. I don't want to speculate how many beers or whiskies you'd had by the time you were tweeting and texting our group. However, you weren't happy. You think we should have gone after it a little bit more. It was a very weak Liverpool team. Have you calmed down a bit, first of all? But what's your sort of residing thoughts on the home defeat to Liverpool?
Yeah, mate. I've only just started walking in a straight line today, so yeah, it was. I had a few, and it was definitely anger taking over and short-sightedness. But I was still, some of it still remains. I mean, that was a bit over the top, some of the things, but at the end of the day, I thought it was a huge opportunity. They had two people who've not played at that level of the league at centre-half ever. I know maybe a few games between them actually at centre-half, but so I think we had Antonio there. We were on fire. We were the ones carrying form. I know they just beat Spurs, but their average height of their team was 5'9". We weren't direct, we weren't in face enough. We sat back too deep, and we worried more about their weapons of a team who's underperforming than our ability on them and what we're good at. We've been phenomenal all season when we've gone up people and gone for the game from the off. And I think it's just a shame that we didn't quite show that level of intensity that we have done against a team who are out of form. I know they beat Spurs again, I said, but not playing their best for their week. And an hour before kickoff, you hear Mane's not playing. You've got to be in that, and if we want to really achieve something real, we've got to do more than take 2 points out of 21 against the Big Six.
Yeah, James, Tom, it kind of makes sense, to be honest. And at the time, I did understand the slightly more pragmatic approach because, let's be honest, even Liverpool's backup players are still good footballers and still, they still had Wijnaldum on there, Thiago on there, Mo Salah on there, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson, still some outstanding players. Even Origi, you know what I mean? What we'd give to have Divock Origi in the team for the rest of the season, he's still a decent enough backup option, isn't he? There, it's by no means a rubbish team we were playing, but I do think I would have liked to seen us go for it early on a little bit more. Perhaps did you share Tom's sentiments, or did you think actually you were annoying me after the game? You were annoying me after because I just thought I didn't think it was quite as bad. I just I just thought that all of the talk about we should have gone for the game and all that, I just ignored it all because I think Cresswell shouldn't show Mo Salah onto his left foot. Everyone got absolutely crucified Masuaku when he did that not long ago. The Chelsea defender, Rudiger, I think it was, got slaughtered for showing Yarmolenko onto his left or last season when we beat them late knock-ins. Cresswell shows Mo Salah onto his left foot and he bends it into the far corner. And then for the last one, Jared Bowen can't put a corner in past the first man. All right, it was a good goal and a nice ball and a nice touch from Salah. But ultimately, even if he hadn't have done that mega pass, Shaqiri and Liverpool would have still been about 4 against 2, even if he decided to run with it. So I think they would have scored, albeit not quite as spectacularly. And I just think, regardless of the game plan, if it wasn't for two pretty shoddy pieces of play, Sunday League level stuff, I think I called it in our group chat. If it wasn't for that, we get a result. We get a draw at least.
Oh, I do agree with you. I think that the reason why I wasn't that frustrated at the end, the only thing that really frustrated me before I go on was it took us half hour to get a corner and we played that corner short. And it was like, what on earth are you doing? We've not turned up. We've not. I mean, we should have taken the game to them from the very first minute. Put them under pressure. Put that centre back pairing under real pressure from the off. Make them worried. And we missed a huge opportunity to really. We were playing Liverpool at the perfect time. Yeah, they had some good players still on the pitch, but that defence, that centre back pairing, given our strength at set pieces, especially. You get a corner 30 minutes into the game, barely in the game anyway. And then you play it short. And then the cross after you play it short is substandard. And it's like, what was the point of that? But at the end of the day, we were beaten by the better team on the night. And okay, yeah, we should have gone for it a little bit more. But losing to Liverpool isn't going to define our season. Losing to Champions isn't going to define our season. What is going to define our season is how we get on against Villa, Wednesday night, how we get on against Fulham at the weekend, how we get on against, teams that we, realistically we should be beating, rather than, the odd game against a top six club. Liverpool were there for the taking. We didn't take it. But we move on, I think. I don't think it's the end of the world. It's frustrating, but it's what it is. I've moved on. Will, you look like you haven't. Tom definitely hasn't. But I think I said this. I can't remember. I said it to not long after. Like every defeat this season, we've bounced back. I think after the Chelsea game, we went 8 games. After losing to Chelsea, we went 8 games unbeaten. So I think after the United defeat, we went 3 or 4 games unbeaten. So we've bounced back relatively quickly after losing this season. And I think that shows a lot about, again, the progress we've made under David Moyes. I don't think, it's panic stations are, we've lost a game. It's first loss of 2021. What's going to happen now? I think the guys the team will bounce back nicely and we can put it behind us.
Well, fingers crossed, Jamesy. I'm a little bit confused tonight. I can't keep up with your moods. If we get you on transfers, it's the worst thing ever. If you get us on the pitch against Liverpool, then it's not so bad after all. I'm having trouble keeping up with you at the moment, mate, I'll be honest. But yeah, I just think it felt to me a bit like the first game for a long time that I could have been watching us last season, because I think, Mikel Antonio missed that chance. But other than that, we didn't have loads going forward. He should put that in, to be honest, by the way. But yeah, it felt a little bit like, what was the point of watching it? Like we haven't even brought anything to the party or given him a go, which Tom said earlier on. So I do agree with you. But look, that's it for part 1. I'm going to take a few deep breaths and see if I can keep up with James Jones's mood and how he's going to feel about the next topic we talk about. But with